Have you ever finished a lash set, stepped back, and thought, something looks off? Maybe one eye looks fuller than the other, or the lengths just don't flow the way you imagined. That's where lash mapping comes in. It's the secret to flawless, symmetrical lashes every single time. Lash mapping isn't just for advanced artists. It's a must-have skill for every lash tech, whether you're a beginner or experienced. Instead of guessing, mapping gives you a clear plan to follow, so your sets look polished, balanced, and customized to each client's eyes. So today, I'm going to walk you through how to map lashes like a pro, step by step, so you can start creating perfect lash sets every time. Let's get started. So, what is lash mapping and why does it matter? Think of lash mapping like a blueprint. Before you start placing extensions, you map out exactly where each length should go to enhance the client's eyes. This helps you to create symmetry, so both eyes match. Customize the look based on eye shape and client preference. Work faster and more efficiently because you already know where each lash belongs. Avoid common mistakes like uneven lengths or poor balance. Lash mapping removes the guesswork so every set looks intentional, clean, and professional. Choosing the right lash map for different eye shapes. Not all lash styles work for every eye shape. Choosing the right mapping technique can enhance natural beauty instead of working against it. If your client has almond eyes, lucky them. This shape is super versatile and can pull off any lash style, from doll eye to cat eye. If they have round eyes, you'll want to balance the shape by avoiding too much length in the center. A cat eye or staggered lash style will elongate the eyes beautifully. For hooded eyes, the key is lifting the lashes to make the eyes look more open. Avoid styles that place the longest length directly in the crease. It won't be visible. If the client has close-set eyes, longer lengths on the outer corners can create a widening effect, making the eyes appear more balanced. For wide-set eyes, the opposite applies. You want to keep the longest lengths more toward the center to bring the eyes into proportion. When you match the right mapping style to the client's eye shape, you create a harmonious, flattering look that feels customized just for them. Lash mapping basics, the sectioning method. Now, let's break down exactly how to map lashes in sections for a flawless result. First, apply the eye pad and secure lower lashes. Then, take a fine-tip marker or eyeliner pencil and lightly map out your lash plan directly on the eye pad. Step 1. Mark the inner corner. This is where your shortest lengths will go, usually around 6 mm to 9 mm. Step 2. Find the highest point of the eye. This is where you want the longest lash length for most styles, typically between 11 mm to 14 mm. Step 3. Mark the outer corner. Tapering lengths down here ensures a natural flow. Step 4. Divide the lash line into sections. Most maps have around 4 to 6 sections, depending on the complexity of the style. Step 5. Assign lash lengths to each section, gradually increasing and decreasing for smooth transitions. For example, in a doll eye style, you might use 7 mm in the inner corner, increase to 12 mm in the center, and taper down to 7 mm at the outer edge. For a cat eye look, the longest lashes will be placed toward the outer corners to create that lifted, elongated effect. Having these sections mapped out makes your work faster and more precise while preventing common mistakes. How to adjust your lash. Mapping for different looks. Not every client wants the same style, so it's important to know how to modify your map for different looks. For a natural, everyday look, keep the lengths more subtle, using a soft variation like 8, 9, 10, 9, 8 mm. For a bold, dramatic effect, increase the contrast between sections, using something like 8, 10, 12, 14, 12, 10 mm. If your client wants a wispy effect, mix in longer spike lashes within shorter sections, like 9, 12, 10, 13, 11 mm. Understanding these small adjustments allows you to customize every set based on what the client wants while keeping it structured and professional. Even with a solid lash map, mistakes can still happen. Here are some of the most common issues and how to avoid them. If one eye looks fuller than the other, check that you're using equal lash lengths on both sides. Sometimes, one eye has more natural lashes than the other, making it appear denser. If the lashes look too long for the client's face, stick to gradual length increases rather than dramatic jumps. If the client's lashes aren't following the mapped shape, double-check your placement. extensions should align with the direction of the natural lashes to maintain flow and balance. Lash mapping is a guide, but it also requires attention to detail while lashing. I once worked with a beginner lash artist named Anna. She was super talented, but her sets always looked slightly off. One eye was fuller, or the shape didn't look right. She felt frustrated and almost gave up. Then, she started mapping every single set with intention. Instead of guessing, she followed a precise plan. Within weeks, her work completely transformed. Her clients noticed the improvement, and her bookings doubled because people loved the polished, professional results. Now she swears by lash mapping and never does a set without it. If you feel like your lash sets lack consistency or balance, mapping might be the missing piece. Final tips for flawless. Lash mapping. Always consider the client's eye shape before deciding on a style. Keep your sections even and symmetrical to maintain balance. Use a fine tip marker to map directly on the iPad for easy reference. Don't be afraid to adjust and customize. Mapping is a guide, not a rulebook. The more you practice, the faster and more intuitive mapping will become. Lash mapping isn't just a beginner technique, it's what separates good lash artists from great ones. Now you have all the tools you need to start lash mapping like a pro. Whether you're creating a soft, natural look or a bold, dramatic set, having a plan makes all the difference. Take the time to map out your sets, adjust based on your client's needs, and soon you'll see just how much easier and more consistent your work becomes. Are you ready to start mapping your sets? Grab your marker, try out some maps, and watch your lash skills level up.